Hi everybody. Been thinking a lot about what I'm going to say for the last few hours, the last few days, with all that's been going on across the country, especially out of Minneapolis. And I wanted to kind of share my thoughts and my thoughts and feelings about all that. Um, it's not okay. It's not okay for Omar Jimenez and who is a CNN reporter, and his producer Bill Kirkos and his photographer Leona Mendez to be arrested by police while they're covering a protest. It's not okay for Kateria Winfrey, a reporter out in Indianapolis, Indiana, to be shot at by tear gas by police.
You just saw us. We had to move from that area down there. Trying to make out. Okay, we gotta go, guys.
It looks like there where Katira is, some sort of law enforcement vehicle driving through and deploying.
Or Caitlin Rust, a reporter in Louisville, Kentucky.
We got plenty of time here.
Are you okay?
I'm getting shot. I'm getting.
Katie, are you okay?
Rubber bullets. It's okay. It's those pepper bullets. Bullets.
Who are they aiming that at?
Nice shooting at the
At
photographer.
us, like directly at us.
Why are they doing that?
He's shooting at our crew.
To be shot at, again, by police during a protest while they're trying to cover a story. Watching all this in the last few days just made me really uneasy. Is this something that we want to set as precedent as Americans? What happened to the First Amendment? What happened to the freedom of the press? It made me think about, what if the cameras were not ruling on these reporters and not transmitting for millions of people to see live on television? I also think about other journalists. What if it was a radio reporter or a newspaper reporter or a freelancer? And even though I'm not in the business, what if it had been me? The outcome would have been different. After seeing the images come out of Minneapolis, I've barely slept. And seeing the additional images this week, I've barely slept. I am exhausted. I'm so tired with not only the murder of George Floyd, but the countless of other names that have made the headlines in the past months, in the past years, that are too numerous to count. And the trauma is so triggering, mentally, emotionally, physically, and psychologically. I'm just so tired of talking about the story time and time again, or having to defend. I'm just so tired. And it seems like whenever people are talking, no one's listening, or they don't seem to give a damn, which is really disrespectful. Only in this country, only in the United States, someone can openly accept something that is totally unsubstantiated and question the obvious murder of a black man or a woman in broad daylight. And people wonder what led up to it, or they're an armchair quarterback, or the worst of it all, the whataboutisms. So there are folks out there that are saying, well, there are better ways to express anger instead of rioting and looting. Yeah, that's true. You're right about that. Looting and rioting is wrong. I don't endorse that. I don't endorse riots, or I don't endorse incitement of riots and looting. You know, there have been people out there that are and have and are right now doing peaceful protests and are kneeling, but again, people are disrespectful and not paying attention, and they say, "Oh, that's you can't do that. That's disrespectful to the country. It's disrespectful for the people that have fought for this country or this flag," and they're not listening. You know, generations of pain that have been blatantly ignored are now manifesting in front of the whole world to see. And people calling whomever it may be out there a group of thugs, or and at the same time calling it a fine bunch of folks, it just adds fuel to the fire. Being an outsider,
Every single person we arrested last night, I'm told, was from out of state. As I talk to my friends who have been in this movement for a very long time, who wake up in this movement every day, and I ask them what they're seeing, what they're feeling, what they're hearing, to a person, I hear them say, "We don't know these folks."
and going out there and purposely starting and inciting riots, looting, violence on purpose, you're a coward. It's a cowardly act. Those folks, in my opinion, should be prosecuted. So, the people that are watching this, I just want to say, if you are out there and you're using your voice, especially if you're white, you're using your voice to call what it is, and using your privilege that some of us may not have, thank you. I see you. But it's not enough to be angry and react to social media posts of your black friends. I'm going to ask for you right now to lean in and be a leader. Pierce that bubble within your circles of white friends and let them know what's going on. Just let them know. It's good to engage with one another with all these issues, but it really doesn't mean, it means little if you're not gonna do it yourself, right? So if you're not gonna be brave enough to talk about it or post about it yourself, don't message me. I know you're speaking to the choir. You can do it. I believe in you. You can do it. Those who are silent, those who are not outraged, or ignoring what's happening right now, I see you. That's all I gotta say to that. I see you. I see you too. And there are some folks, and I've seen the posts on Facebook. You know, they say, "Well, Roni, I'm not privileged. I'm not privileged. I raised myself by my own bootstraps. And I wish I had a pair of boots to just dangle, but I don't." I'm not talking about financial status. I'm talking about what I'm talking about is to take a moment and look at yourself, right? And know in your entire life, you hold a huge amount of privilege by the nature of your complexion, and that you've benefited for it your entire life from a system that oppresses Black, Latino, Native Americans, Middle Eastern, and Asians, but specifically black folk. Hands down. Look at the history. Look at your history. You know, I have an industry friend. Her name is Cassidy. And she said, it's a piece of cake compared to never knowing for sure if this is the day you're going to get pulled over in the wrong part of town or make eye contact just the wrong way with the wrong person or some other interaction, and it's all over for you because of the color of your skin. So why is this happening? I know I'm not crazy. I said this for years. Something is terribly wrong here. We are hurting. I'm not the expert. I don't have the answers. But I am just tired. Beyond tired of talking about this. I am exhausted. I'm tired of living in fear. We live in a society where everyone should have some common decency towards one another. Doesn't matter who you are. Common decency. But apparently, you look at somebody and it's like they get scared. Or they immediately call 911. Why? I don't understand. And, this week, seeing all this news out of Minnesota, I could not drive myself to watch that video in its entirety because I can't, especially now hearing that he was screaming for his mom who had passed away. It's too much. I don't want to lose faith in this country. I'm a newly naturalized U.S. citizen. I believe in this country. I believe in its values. Something needs to be done about it. Prove me wrong, America. We have to do better than this.